So you're all welcome to today's class. I know last week I had mentioned that we're going to do an assessment, but I want to follow in line with what Doctor said. Many of us may feel that we are doing basic analysis. So I now looked at the schedule. I noticed that there is a financial aspect of it. So let me handle. I want to handle financial analysis. For want of time, we may go back to that data set of the house polling, but we're going to use this one I shared today. It has to do with do financial analysis, growth analysis, working with date table. Now, one key thing you need to know how to do when it comes to your analysis is date table, fiscal year. When you're going to do financial analysis, you need to be able to pull up fiscal year table. Fiscal year table is different from date table. You may be working with a company and their fiscal year starts in April. Like this data set we're going to use now, their fiscal year starts in April, which means Q1. Who can tell me what the first quarter, what month will be in the first quarter if their fiscal year starts in April?
Mm.
So who can tell me first quarter month will be what?
The
First
first
quarter
quarter
will
will
end
not
in June.
June. Yeah.
Beautiful. So now that tells you that the table, the date table or calendar table you're going to use to answer or to give insights or to pull questions from the data set will be different from your regular date table. So with that mention, I want to make a special mention before we go further. Let me do a special mention to these persons who were able to. Now, Oluwaseun, is Oluwaseun in the call? Okay. Oh,
Yes, sir. Good
Oluwaseun
evening,
did.
sir.
Good evening, Oluwaseun, and thank you very much for your for your presentation. You showed really that you know that you're ready to go the extra mile. This is worthy of mention. And to as many of us, please, 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 when you're if you're stuck in any way, the whole idea, doctor has been saying it: network, network, network. No man is an island. All right. So Oluwaseun, well done, well done. And then next mention is Adisa. Is Adisa here?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Evening, evening, Adisa, and well done for your own presentation. Yes, I
Thank
want
you,
to
sir.
congratulate you, and also say thank you for going a step further, because one way to stand out, like I say as many times as I get the chance, it's very easy to stand out, very easy to stand out, because every other person is either not doing anything or heading in the wrong direction. So once you follow cue, once you read in between the lines of what whoever it is you're under his tutelage is telling you, you will go places. So special mention to Oluwaseun and Adisa. All right. So now to the both of you, if the both of you are interested in freelancing, now I'm giving you a blank ticket, full access to consultation with me. All right. I'm going to make it open now for the next three. Who would want to step up their game? There is three more opportunities available. Now I would show you everything I have practiced and what made me a. Okay, let me show you my Upwork profile so that you know whatever I'm telling you is from a place of information and not guesswork. Permit me to do this because I really need to do this so that some persons will know that we are here for serious business. So I'm going to share. I'm going to share my Upwork profile. Now this is my Upwork profile. I have not earned much. I have not earned much, and bulk of all these earnings is from this. I have four active. Okay, so full access to me. The thing about freelancing is, if you want to grow in freelancing, take a cue from those who are practicing, not people who, once you just ask them questions, they'll start sending you links to buy ebooks and all that. So now to our special mention to Oluwaseun, and if you are interested, full access to me, to the both for the both of you, and there is 3 more slots available. All right. So with that mention, let us get to business, to the business of today. How many of you like what you see? Since we like complex data set, this is a presentation I did, Power BI. All right, it's a growth analysis that we're going to use. You notice what I did? I clicked on a tab on the home page. Now this is the JSON file I said we're going to work with. Now this is for a growth analysis presentation. All right. Now when you click on any country, it quickly tells you the document registration revenue. All right. Now when you want to know the particular quarter, Q1, it tells you the total revenue, fiscal year 2019. Now, so this is what we intend to achieve with the data sets we are going to do. All right. So let's get started. I am going to launch Power BI now and share the screen of Power BI. We're going to access the data sets and prepare the environment. So now you have seen the end product. We're going to start now. Now, in a business sense, in the real world, when your business or project owner comes to you, your business or project owner is going to give you a data set, and based on what the engineering team may have done, they would have what they call metadata for you to understand what they have just presented to you. All right. So now the metadata, you're all seeing the Power BI environments. Let me load the metadata. Now, this is Telangana growth analysis. How many of us have visited the country, the district of Telangana? Please indicate if you visited the district of Telangana. Telangana is a district in India. When you say district, just like Africa, then a country. So Telangana is like a country in India, and they have an open cloud system. Now, Telangana growth analysis. Now they did a challenge some last year. They wanted entries, and they made their data set open. They wanted insights, growth insights, to be given to their governments so that they would know what aspects of their country to focus on for growth revenue. They wanted to know, they wanted to generate insights as to buying trends of their citizens. So they made their data set open. So now the data set that they made open, all right, is dimension district or dim districts, dimension dates, fact stamp, fact transport, and fact TSI pass. You don't have to understand all this, but just stick with me. All right. Dim districts. There are 33 districts in the country of Telangana. 33 districts. When you hear district, it's like states in Nigeria. 33 districts. So dimension table districts. Now, remember we talked about primary table and secondary table. So the secondary table is your dimension table district, your dimension dates, your dimension date table. All right. When we pull up this data set, we're going to look at them in Power BI. Then your primary keys now, they have their fact stamp. Their fact stamp. They have a, just like what we have internal revenue. They have a fact stamp system where every business owner, every individual, house use acts, everything goes through a stamp system. So all the records of stamps for the entire country were collected by their data engineering team, and they pulled it up into what they call the primary key, that the fact stamp. Transport, Ministry of Transport, all the registration for new car, used car, pre-owned, they call it pre-owned in our own context, Belgium cars. Various category of vehicles, tractors, ATVs, that is all-terrain vehicles and everything. All that information is in their fact transport data set. And then the fact TSI pass. They have a total of 20 industries in the entire country. So all those, the records of those industries through the TSI pass. The TSI pass is an electronic system which they started in 2019, and that electronic system takes information of all records in the year from the various 20 departments in the country. Transport, agricultural, they call them departments. In Nigeria, we call them ministries. All right. So I hope we're all ready. Now, this is what they said. This is the metadata. Now, what we're doing is, the first thing you need to do, you need to understand your data sets. All right. You need to understand your data set, just like when we're doing the hotels in Lagos analysis. Now you need to understand your data set. Now this is the metadata. It tells us that column distribution for dim district. It says that the table contains information about districts, district code. This column represents the district code or identifier for each district. All right. Column distribution dim dates. That is for the dimension dates table, that is data set that is made available. Now we're told by the data engineering team that each column, there is a month table, there is an MMM table, all right, there is a quarter table, and there is a fiscal year table. Now, fact stamp, we are now getting to the primary key data set. It tells us, the engineering team is telling us that the table provides data on revenue generated from document registration and e-stamp challan payments, aggregated at the district and monthly level. All right. Now, each column, there is a column for district code. Now you now see that the foreign key in the secondary table is now a primary key here, district code. Now there is a document registered. There is another column that has that is tagged document underscore registered count. This column represents the total count of documents registered. Another column of documents registered revenue. This column represents the total revenue generated from the registered documents, which include like stamp duty, other taxes, e-stamp challan. This column represents count of e-stamp challan. Remember I said something about e-stamp, just like when we have our Board of Internal Revenue. Now, theirs is the e-stamp challan. That is their own system for collecting revenue. All right. Now, the next primary table, that is the fact transport. This table provides information about the individual vehicle sales data from the Regional Transport Authority of the state of Telangana, categorized by fuel type. Now we have vehicle class, seating capacity, other general categories aggregated at district and monthly level. District code, see district code again. All right. Vehicle sales category by different fuel type petrol, fuel type diesel. These are all columns under this data set. vehicle class, motorcycles. This category includes all two-wheeled vehicles. All right. So I guess you're seeing how interesting this data set is, right? So you are now going to see the the questions they want answered. All right. So, but before we go into the questions, we're going to prepare our data set first to be able to answer the questions they have for us. And then the last data set is the fact TS IPASS. That is the TS IPASS data set in the Telangana comprises data concerning units for, or businesses established within the states under the industrial project approval and self-certification system. This government initiative aims to foster industrial growth and investment by streamlining project approvals and enabling self-certification for businesses. Now we're now told further details is in the ipasstelanganagovernment.in. So you see, we're using real life data sets, not Titanic data sets or some dummy data sets somewhere. So with this said, now we're going to go to Power BI. When a project owner presents you with a data set, all right, if there is no metadata, you ask for a metadata. That is the asking question, all right. You ask for the metadata so that you understand the tables, you understand what you're looking at. If you don't ask for the metadata, you you would spend longer than necessary. And remember the aspect of expectation management. You need to be able to manage the expectation of your stakeholder. So if you don't have a data set, you spend unnecessary number of time grouping around the data set. But once you have your metadata, you understand what you're looking at. Then you can now start asking the right questions. Okay. Now you can now start answering the right questions. So okay, let me see if I can share the kind of questions that this particular project owner wants answered. All right. So now, primary questions. They said, how does the revenue generated from document registration vary across districts in Telangana? List down the top 5 districts that showed the highest document registration revenue growth between fiscal year 2019 and 2022. Second primary question. How does the revenue generated from document registration compare to revenue generated from e-stamp challan across districts? List down the top 5 districts where e-stamp revenue contributes significantly more to the revenue than the documents in fiscal year 2022. Third question. Is there, sorry, third question. Is there any alteration of e-stamp challan counts and document registration counts pattern since the implementation of e-stamp challan? If so, what suggestion would you propose to the government? You can see that the work of a data analyst is not only dashboard, dashboard, dashboard. You're to solve problem. So my point is this: adaptability. You should learn to be adaptable. You are to solve problem. You are to solve stakeholders' problem, not to tell that if it is not Power BI, I cannot work in your company. No, that is the wrong approach to this world of data analytics. So now these people, they say, give us suggestions on what would you propose to the government. Number 4, categorize districts into 3 segments based on their stamp registration revenue generation during the fiscal year 2021 and 2022. So enough of the problem questions. Let's go back to our data set and start preparing our data set to solve these stakeholders' problem. All right. So I have downloaded the data set and it is in a folder. Okay. So I'm going to get folder more. I will show us a style of importing data. You know, so far you have seen how to import data from Excel. All right. So now let's show you how to import data from a folder. Instead of doing it one by one, you will do it this way. So folder path, I'm going to browse to my desktop, see it here, Telangana Growth Analysis. I'm going to click on it, data sets, okay, and say okay. So now this is the data set. You can see dim dates. I hope you can see my screen. Please thumbs up if you can see my screen. So dim dates, dim districts, fact stamp, fact transport, good. So what would you do? Go to transform data. So that we load it in what? In Power Query. I'm loading the folder in Power Query. All right. Let's do some intermediate working here. So duplicate. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let me share the Power Query screen that loaded. So when it loaded, this one was the only one here. So all I did was to duplicate. I now duplicated. That was how you now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we have what? 5 data sets. So start from the bottom, all right? Because fact CSI path is at the bottom. Okay, so we are starting from the bottom. So this is what we're going to do. Click on binary. Okay, and now opened. So we now come here, right click, and rename facts underscore ts underscore r pass. Okay, enter. All right, so go to the next one and go to the next one. This is fact underscore transport. Click on binary, it loads. Right click, rename. In fact underscore transport. All right, go to the next one. That is fact stamp. Click on binary, it loads, rename, underscore stamp. All right, click on the next data sets, click on binary, that's a dimension district, beam district. Now remember those things it was talking about district code. See the district code for each of the districts. There are 33 districts. All right, so dim, we now rename this to what? Rename this to dim underscore districts. Okay, and then the next one, dim dates. Okay, so we click on binary, you can see the dim date. Remember where you saw in the metadata where it's mentioned MMM. I don't know if any of you took note of it, MMM, and then it now said there's a quarter. All right, there's a quarter, and there's a fiscal year. There's a fiscal year. So we're going to rename this to dim underscore dates. Okay. Yes. So now we have our 5 tables. This is this is the what aspect are we doing? What aspect of our analysis are we doing? Somebody tell me. Yes. Now we're transforming the data. All right. So now we're now going to look at each of them. We'll look at each of them and to now further transform our data. So we'll start from the top. The top is what? Dim dates. Look at dim dates. We can see the data engineer did a very good job. So he did a very good job. He justified the money he's being paid. So this is the health of the column. Very okay. MMM is the right format. Fiscal year is in the right format. All right. So dim date is okay. Dim date is okay. So we'll go to dim districts, dimension districts. Is dimension district okay? Somebody should tell me. What is wrong with dimension district?
The first column should be in figures, like
Numbers.
numbers, not ABC.
First column should be in figures, not numbers. Eh, it should be a
I
mix
mean,
because okay, well, okay,
uh,
yeah, okay, yes. It should be in figures. Okay, what else?
The column header to be the district code and the district
Please
name, but it's just column
clap
one and
for
column two.
Oluwase. Even though I can't hear all of you clapping, but I know you're clapping. Virtual clap. So thank you very much. And this is what you do. You click use first row as header. Okay, and then okay, someone's hand is okay. Oluwase, your hand is your hand still up? Use first row as header. Use first row as header. So, and this should be a combination of it should be we'll leave it okay. 1 2 3 will not go because of the underscore. So we'll leave it as ABC. As ABC. Because of this underscore, it cannot go as 1 2 3. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Fact stamp. Fact stamp. The headers are okay. Column looks okay. All right. Facts. Bilkis, let's hear you.
yeah, I have a question. What I want to ask is the other guy
Yes.
said the first row should be used as header, and I think
Yes.
it was used as header initially.
Yes. You can
But
see
why did
it.
he say?
It was.
Why did?
It wasn't. It wasn't used as
Oh,
header initially. That was why he said it should be used as header. If you
so how do you
noticed,
know that?
it was
How do you know?
showing it was showing it was showing 34. There are 33 districts. It was showing
Okay,
34.
so okay,
Now it is
counted
33.
the
So this is
first
now
row
correct.
as part
It
of the
counted
row.
yes as
Okay,
yes. And
okay.
then it was showing. Look at where my cursor is. It was showing column 1, column 2 previously.
All right. Yes, yes, that's true. Thank you.
Let me see. Oh, you're welcome. Let me see if good. Can you see? This is what it was before.
Yes, yes, I can. Like I remember.
Good, good. All right. So let's go back to where we are. All right. So where was I? I think I was at fact stamp. Fact stamp,
No, sir.
district code.
Transport.
Okay. Well, I was at transport. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I was at transport. Thank you very much. So district code, month, fuel type. Remember they said from the metadata, fuel type diesel, fuel type petrol, fuel type diesel, fuel type electric, fuel type others, vehicle class, motorcycle, motor car, you know. So everything looks okay. Everything looks okay. But have you noticed something? Let me see if anybody can get this one. Let's look at fact stamp. Look at dim dates. Dim date has months, and we're supposed to create a relationship between this dimension and this facts table. This is the primary key, this dimension. So look at dim dates. I want to see who is going to notice this. Dim dates, we're supposed to create a relationship between dim dates and the facts table because this is our primary key. All right. So how would we create a relationship? So look at the columns in dim date. We have we have quarter, and we have what? Fiscal year. Okay. Dim districts, when we are going to granular this, when we're going to talk about district level, we will get that relationship already. We have district code. Remember, there are district codes in the primary table. So this one now is sorted out, so we can create a relationship between a one to many relationship. Dim dates, now we're supposed to create a one to many relationship in the fact table. So now let's look at the first fact table and see if it's going to be possible as the way the data set is now. All right, let's see if that is going to be possible. So the first fact table, we have months. Okay, good. So dim date, we have months. Good. We have months in, so we can create that relationship. All right, we have months. What other relationship? And they are telling us to do some other things. So who can tell me what other thing is missing in the fact stamp table? We have a quarter, but this is yeah, we have a quarter. So we're supposed to be able to create a relationship between this and this. So quarter is missing. Good. So quarter is missing. What else is missing? This is month of fact table. So we're supposed to have a one-to-many relationship, but something else is missing. Something else is missing. Yeah, yeah. Okay, use the right term. The term as used by the project owner. There's a specific term the project owner used. You are using calendar year. The project owner didn't mention calendar year.
Fiscal year.
Fiscal
Thank
year.
you. Fiscal
Fiscal
year.
year.
Good. So fiscal year is missing. Now this month is calendar month. All right. Fiscal year is missing. So quarter is missing. Quarter, fiscal quarter, not the calendar quarter. Okay. So get it. Fiscal quarter is missing. Calendar, what is it called? Calendar. Then fiscal quarter is missing. Fiscal year is missing. What else is missing? One more thing is missing. There are, okay, let me click on the, you can see it's from 2019 down to 2021. That is for fact stamp. So there are multiple months. Now, this particular one this is the month and the day. Month, day, month, day. Okay?
And
Month, day. All right? Okay? So this is April, first day of April, like that. This is April, May. Yes. So Bilkis, your hand is still up. Okay,
I've
good.
said all I wanted to say. I said, is it
Yes.
MMA we are looking for?
Yeah, exactly. This one. This is it. April. That's the months in this format. APR. All right. Because there are certain questions that were asked. Let me see. There's certain questions they wanted to know relationship and pattern since now you can only find pattern when you let me take us back to the problem statement. You can only find out patterns when you have reduced everything down to the the lowest units. Then you can look for patterns. All right. So we need that month. So now let's start with fact stamp. Let's start with putting in those things that are missing. So who wants to tell me how we can? Who wants to? Okay, Bill Case, is this a mistake?
No, it's not a mistake. I want to
Bill
ask a question.
Case. Okay,
I want to ask a
please.
question. Should I go on?
Yes, please go on.
Okay. So my question is, to create a relationship, is it all what we have in the
Yes.
dimension table that should be in the fact, or only what we really need to, only what we really need? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. Because the way you were asking us, I guess it's everything in the dimension table that we want to be in the fact table. Like since you have been asking us to state those things that are missing. So I don't know. I just want to ask, and I need clarification.
Yes. When you're building a model, all right, you need to have an active relationship, and your relationship can either be one to many, one-to-one, or many-to-many. It is in rare occasions you work with many-to-many and one-to-one relationship. But in your ideal star schema scenario, it's a one-to-many relationship. So for us to have a one-to-many relationship, we need to introduce these columns into the primary table. Since we have the parent material, which is the month, that is when these entries were done. From that month, now we'll now be able to extract the quarter that the project owner is interested in, extract months so that we can now generate relationship, okay, and patterns that the project owner is asking for, okay,
All
for you
right.
to understand it. But just know that, okay, when you buy a phone, it comes with all the parts, right?
Yes.
Your container is your primary key. When you bring
Yeah.
out the phone now becomes a dimension, a part of that container.
Yeah.
You understand? uh
Yes.
The hollow, the container, that hollow is still there. So that is the relationship. Okay, be okay.
Please
Go
go
on.
ahead.
So what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is it depending on what we want to do? Is it what we want to do
Yes.
that would decide those things that would move from the dimension table in the fact table,
Yes.
or we have to put
Yes.
everything in the dimension, make sure everything in the dimension table are in the fact table? That's what I want to know.
Depending on the questions you're trying to solve, that will
All
determine how
right.
you transform your data. Remember that we are transforming our data.
Yes.
Good, good. So depending on the questions you want to solve, and our
All
client is particular about fiscal year because their fiscal year
right.
starts when in April.
In April.
Okay. Yes. So
Yeah.
April 2019 is fiscal year 2019. December
Mm-hmm.
2019 is fiscal year
It's fiscal year
2019.
2019. Yeah.
January 2020
2020
is
is
still
fiscal year
fiscal
2019.
year 2019. Thank you very much. Wow, you get it now. So we this is calendar date, so we can't work with this. We need to introduce our fiscal year, and
All
we
right.
need to introduce our our
Fiscal
months.
quarter and then the ending
Yes,
month.
and our quarter. Good, and the fiscal quarter. Yes,
All right. I get it now. Thank you.
you're welcome. So now let's continue. Now this is the month. Now we're going to go to add column. Okay, add column from this. So we're going to do this months by name of months. Okay, and we have our name of month here. Okay, so we just right click here, months column added. All right. So now, but we don't have it in the format that it appears in what, in the dim date. See how it appears here. But this is how it is appearing here. This is how it's appearing here. So who wants to tell me what we're going to do now to ensure that it appears the way it appears here? Click on the months, go to add column. All right. You don't click on months and you are in home. Oh. Click on months, go to add column. Because it is a date, this is a date table. See how you know that it is a date table? See it here. This sign here shows that it is a date table. Okay. Now go to dates. So at Power BI, I will know that it is treating a date. You now go to months and now say name of months. All right, that is how I added it. So now, but I added it in a format that is not the same as dim dates. Okay, so what do we do, my people? So what do we do? How do we get it to this format? If you have practiced the hotel data sets, you would have known what we'll do here. So you see why it is good to practice. So this is what we're going to do. You go to home, okay? Split. Split by what? Number of characters. All right. So this is the left Ima was talking about. We'll go left, we'll go left, we'll go left. So this is where we'll go left. Split by number of characters. The the three, three, three characters to the left. Imabi, share this is the left you're talking.
Yes, yes.
Left. So this is the left. So you now say okay. And we have our left. Okay. So click on the drop down to confirm that we have all our lefts. And we have all our left here. So it's in the format we like. So we don't need this. We'll delete this. Remove this column. Okay. And then rename this to what? Let us check here and see. You use the same name formats. Come here. What name format is here? MMM. Not MMM that scam, not the one that scammed people. I will now rename MMM. Okay. So right here, MMM colon named. Created and named. Created and named. Okay. So this process now has given us the first column, MMM. What else did we say is missing?
Fiscal year and
Fiscal
fiscal
year.
quarter.
Good. Fiscal year and fiscal what? And quarter. Fiscal year and fiscal quarter. So fiscal year and fiscal quarter. Now, to add the quarter, before we do fiscal year, let's do quarter. All right. So we'll click on it. We'll go to add column. So what kind of column are we now going to add? To add, we have so many options under add column. So what kind of column are we going to add? And does anybody have an idea?
Yeah.
Conditional
Yes.
column.
You're say it like you mean it.
Conditional column.
Thank you. Conditional column. Thank you very much. I like it when people are following. Conditional column. So we'll now name this column what? Quarter, right? Quarter. I failed English.
Quarter.
Quarter. Yes. Then conditional column. So which column is it picking from? It's picking from MMM. Okay. Equals to value APR. Okay. Outputs. What would our outputs be? Q1.
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 Beautiful. Thank you. So add another one. MMM equals after April is what? May.
May.
Q1. Okay. Add another one. MMM. After May is what? June. Another Q1. Okay. MMM. June, July.
Q2.
Yes. MMM equals July, August. 2. MMM August, September. Q2. MMM equals August, September, October. Q3. equals November Q4.
November is
equals
still
December.
Q3.
Sorry, sir. I think that
Thank
should
you.
be
Sorry.
Q3, not Q4.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright.
I'm actually hungry. I'm beginning to see double.
Remember.
Q3. Then equals January Q4. Add close. equals February Q4. equals February March Q4. Else no, even though we won't have any case of no, but so we're good. Quarter. Why do I feel that this is not a corresponding of quarter? Looks like Qatar.
There's
This is a
R
span of
after the
quarter.
A.
QUAR.
Thank you. I failed English. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now this is okay. And we have it. We have our quarter. All right. We have our quarter. And then added quarter colon added. All right. So let's click on the drop down and be sure. Yes. All quarter present. Now, fiscal year. Fiscal year. Who has an idea what kind of column? Is also a column. What kind of column we're going to use to create fiscal year? For fiscal year, anyone?
Date colon.
Sorry? I didn't hear you.
Let's see the drop down under date.
Drop down under date. Where? Left or right? Someone tell me. We want to add fiscal year column. And the fiscal year is going to pull information from this table. How are we going to do it? Please mute your mic. Show of
On
hand.
split.
Sorry?
Click on split column.
No. Okay. No. Let me show you. It's custom column because you're going to impute a DAX expression here. All right. Now, to those of you who knows how to create a date table here. If you know how to create a date table, you'll notice the difference between creating a regular date table from your calendar dates is different from this method I'm going to show you now. Anyone? Does anybody know how to create a date table in Power Query or with DAX?
Yes, sir.
prefer the
I
Power
think I
Query.
do.
You do? You think you do?
Yes.
Which one? Power
With
Query or DAX?
Power Query.
Which of the methods do you know? With Power Query.
Calendar
Okay,
auto.
beautiful. So, your own Power Query is different from the one I know. Don't worry. Well, maybe when we're done with transforming this data, I will show us how to create a regular date table. Then, you will tell me, is it demo user that said she thinks she knows?
Yes, sir.
Okay, demo user. Okay, so demo user. So when we finish, remember we are still at fact stamp. We're going to repeat this whole process for fact transport and fact CSI pass. Bilkis, enough hand. Bilkis, Joshua, oh yeah, Bilkis, let's hear you.
Please, I just want you to let me see how the fiscal year is. I mean, the way it is in on the I mean in the team
In the
dates,
team
how they
dates.
stated it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is it. This is how it
All
is
right.
pasted.
All right. All right.
Yeah. All right. Good. Joshua.
It was
Okay.
a mistake, sir. Sorry.
No problem. No problem. So I said custom column. So we click on this custom column. Okay. And we'll call it fiscal year. Fiscal underscore year. And we'll come here. This is where you write your DAX. And this is the DAX expression. This is what Microsoft said we should do. Date dot year. You can see IntelliSense is already working. Date dot year is a DAX expression. All right, date dot year, open brackets. It now says what is the date time, and the date time is date dot. All right, date dot add. We're telling it to the date time. To get the date time, we say date dot add months. Okay, you can see IntelliSense has noted it. When you see box like this is DAX. Okay, open brackets. See date time as any. Now is to tell where number of months or as number. So where is our month? Remember, you see why we had to create this, right? It's making sense now, Abi. It, but we're not going to use this in this instance. We're using this because this is the calendar month. Okay, I hope we're all following. We are picking from what? The calendar months. Let me shift this so that we will see. Okay, hey. See months here. So this is what we are picking from because this is the calendar month and we are generating our fiscal year from what? The calendar months. So months, insert. Okay. Now, number of months as number. You remember number of months as number. So number of months is what? Who can give me a very calculated guess? It says number of months as number. See it here. It's asking of number of months as number. Who can guess?
12 months.
Those who have an idea. Sorry?
I said 12 months.
No, no. Remember it's fiscal year we're working with.
1 month, sir.
3 months.
Sorry?
Okay.
Clap for yourself. Clap for
9
yourself.
months.
No. Someone said 3 months. So clap for yourself. But it's not just 3 months. All right? Minus 3. Do you know why it's minus 3? Because their fiscal year starts in April. So minus January, February, March. Does it make sense? So you are not far from the kingdom, as you said, 3 months. So, and Microsoft has told us that no syntax error has been detected. So once we click OK, boom, our fiscal year has appeared. All right. Have you all seen it? So April Q1 2019. Let's look at the months. That is first day of April 2019 is Q1 2019. Let's see if we can see 2020. It's a very large data set, so we can't keep scrolling. We can't see 2020. But if you click on the filter, you see that it's 2019, 2020, 2022. Okay? Be okay. Your question.
Okay, so I just want to confirm that we couldn't use
Yes.
the split column for this fiscal year because the fiscal year didn't start from January, right?
We can't
Because
use split column because the fiscal year starts in April. Yes, the fiscal
yes,
year didn't
because it
start
doesn't
from
start from
January.
January.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so if it was that the fiscal year started from January, we would not need to go through the stress of writing the stuff. We would have just used split column.
Yes. Yes. You would
Oh,
have not really split column, not split column. You'd duplicate, then you split. You understand?
okay.
Because you don't want
Okay, yes,
to you don't
yes,
want to
yes, yes. Yeah, because we want to
uh,
put this in another column, not that we want
you
to take
want
this out.
good.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Okay.
don't want to distort this one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Someone else's hand is up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. The
Yes.
fiscal year. Why do we have 3 years under the drop down? I thought it should be year stuff.
3 years. How do you mean 3 years? Yeah. It's fiscal year, and it pulled it from there. So the three fiscal year we have available is 2019, 2020, and 2021, based on the data
Oh.
set.
Oh, sorry. So the data comprised of 3 years fiscal year record, right?
Fiscal year, yes. Fiscal year data, yes. 3 years fiscal year data, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Busayo, Aliyu.
Yeah, I just spoke now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. No problem.
So when you
So,
were talking about using split column to create the fiscal
yes.
year, if it started in January, I didn't get that part.
Yes. If it's in January, before you split, you duplicate. All right?
Okay, I
You
understand.
duplicate, then you split.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now let's change this to what? Whole number. And then now rename fiscal year column. All right? So we now have
Sir, please,
our
my hand was
fiscal
up. Oh,
year
sorry for taking you back. Can
quarter.
you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Please, can you take the custom column again, please? Because I was thinking that we would duplicate. Since you already explained it, I didn't get this custom table. It didn't enter at all to me.
No way,
I don't
it
know
will
if
enter.
it's me.
We'll get to fact transport. Yes,
Okay,
we were supposed to repeat this process for fact transport and
okay.
fact TS iPass. All
Yeah,
right. So you go enter when I get there.
thank you.
Okay. Good. So we're done with. So let's confirm. We have we have quarter, we have fiscal year. So now let's go to fact transport and do the same thing. But before we do fact transport, there's something peculiar about fact TS iPass. All right, same process, but there are additional steps we need to do in fact TS iPass. I want everybody to look at. Let's go back to the metadata. So metadata TS iPass. TS iPass tells us. I want us to look at the months. He said this column represents the starting date of each month. Listen to this word here. Starting date of what? Of each month. So now let's now go back to Power Query. Now we're in Power Query. All right? And let's look at the months. What did you notice? See the summation of all the entries we have, the summations of the entries. What did you notice?
Is it that they are all starting with first of the month?
Yeah, yes. Yes. Somehow. Excuse me. Now, who else wants to try? Yeah, yeah, yes. First of the month. Okay. If it's first of the month, okay. Now let's see how fact stamp entry is. Can you see how fact stamp entry is?
Okay. This one is starting with the month, and that one is starting with day. Is that what? As in the arrangement of the date.
Good. Beautiful. The arrangement of the dates. This one, the way the data was entered, Power BI is understanding the day as months and the month as day. So this is supposed to be April, May, June, but Power BI is seeing it as January, January. So, and we only have data for 4th of January, 5th of January, 6th of January, 7th of January, 8th of January, 9th of January, 10th of January. Whereas it is it is data for each month. First day of April, that's what we have here. First day of May, that's what we have here. Okay, is it making sense now? Are we all still together?
Yes, it's
Yes,
making
sir.
Yeah.
sense.
Yes, yes.
Because there's silence. I was wondering. Okay, good. So now we're now going to correct this. Okay, we're now going to correct this. And how do we correct it? You click on this and you do what? You say duplicate. Duplicate what? Duplicate column. So now we now have a duplicate column. Okay. Then we now do the next thing. Right click and you say, sorry, not here. Under transform, split. Split by what? Split by delimiter. Okay. Split by delimiter. Leftmost delimiter. So that we can separate the January, sorry, the one that is confusing Power BI. All right. And say okay. Because Power BI is too smart, it decided to change the data type. I don't want that. So I'll close this and tell Power BI to calm down. Let us take it a step at a time. So now we have splitted it, all right? And now we have the one separate, okay? So we now come here, all right? And right click, transform, sorry, change type to what? To dates. Did you see what just happened? We now have our April in front and the first day behind. I hope we're all following. We don't need this, so we delete this.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes,
Please, what was the
yes.
data type before we change it?
It was normal column. See it, ABC. Okay, can you see it?
Okay, test.
Yeah, yeah. So you right click and you say transform. Sorry, you say change type to dates. Okay, so let me just come back here. Okay, so this is our new months column. New months column. Delete this. We don't need it.
Sorry, I have a question, please.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So my question is, this works fine because we have we are looking at the first day of the month. what we have date, I want to also have maybe second of the month, third of the month, fifth of the, and so forth. With this method, is it going to work the same way we did this for first of the month?
It will work for if we work for any method, provided that we notice that um, when it was loaded on Power Query understood it as day instead of as months instead of day. You understand? Do you get what I'm saying?
What I'm saying now, before
Even if
you,
it's yes, even
what,
if it's first, second, third, first, second,
yes,
third, first, second, third. Yeah.
yes.
But by the time you notice the error that you only have entry for January, February, March, and the stakeholder is telling you he wants information for fiscal year. You understand? Then you now look at it. You now notice. No, you now notice that you only have data for 3 months. Then you realize that it is only seeing your months as is seeing your day as months, as January, February, March. You understand?
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So now this
Hello,
one
sir.
is now time to delete this one. Yes.
Sorry to take you back, sir. So on the date, normal is there has a date day format that you can change the format from either month, day, year, or day, month, year. Can't we do that on Power BI instead of removing the one? Can't we just change the date format? Is it possible?
It's possible, but that would not work in this case.
Why, sir?
It will not work in this case. Are you with me?
Yeah. So I
It's
say
not
why?
working.
Why won't it work?
Why it wouldn't work is because that method is for it will still see the one as January. The problem is that it is seeing the one as January and not as day.
Okay.
You understand? So we wanted it to see that one as day, which is what we've just done now.
Okay. All right.
It will not rearrange it. It will only just maybe YYY DDD. You understand? It will still see that one as as months, and the one is day. We want it to see the other number. Look at what we have now. Can you see it? We now have April. We now have May. We now have June. We now have July. We now have August. We now have September. We now have October. We now have November. We now have December. Okay?
So sorry. On this Power BI, how do we know that it's seeing the DAS month? Because I think there should be kind of format on top for us to give us the information.
It's from here. See, it's from here. You only have a client is telling you fiscal year and quarter, but you are seeing that it's only showing you January, and this is entry for a whole country. Remember, context. On that thing you need, on that key thing you need is context. When you're dealing with data set, you need to understand the context. If you take away context, you will be misled. The context now is, see, district. This is a whole district. This is a whole state. This is another state data. This is another state data. You understand? This is another state data. For the month of April, you can see. But it's telling you that it's only January. Do you get the point? So when you see
Okay.
this, you know that this is an anomaly. This is not normal. But by the time you now scroll here, you now see, okay, in the month of April, there were various entries for different districts. Not this one that is telling you all the districts enter data only in January. For the remaining of the year, they didn't enter data, which is wrong. All right.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
So You're welcome. So we're now going to delete this, remove this, because we don't need it. And we're working with this. I will now rename, we now rename this now to our months. Okay? We now rename this as months. At this juncture, we can now extract our what? Our months. Okay? Rename new months column. No vex. Months column. It said new month column was already there. Months column for fiscal year FY. Month column for FY. Okay? So now add, since it is now a date, remember why we had to convert it to a date column. So now, since now a date, add column dates, months by name. Okay? We now have months by name. Click, right click, sorry, why am I doing right click? Transform, split. You who said you didn't see this, I'm now repeating the process again. No, split by what? Left. Remember left. Number of character. Left. Far left 3. Okay. Delete this. Rename this to what? MMM. Okay. So now name this MMM column. All right. And now we now have our months. We have our M. The next one to now do is what? Quarter. Add column, conditional column. Quarter. We are picking from MMM equals to APR is equal to what? Q1. MMM equals to APR, sorry, May Q1. MMM equals to May June Q1. MMM equals to JUL Q2. MMM equals to JUL April, May, June, July AUG Q2. MMM equals to July, August, September. Yeah. Q2. Thank you, my sister. You're noticing that I'm getting tired. I've not rested since September, October, Q3. MMM equals to November, Q3. And then MMM equals to December, Q3. So we don't need to do January, because notice that there is no January, there is no February, there is no March. We only have from 4 to 12. So no need to do for those ones. No. And confirm, quarter, say okay. Boom, we have our quarter column. All right. Right click, rename, add them.
Sir, The first one
Yeah,
we did,
question.
we did February and I think January
Yeah,
and
but
February.
this our months does not have only remember now it's only April. It started with 4, ended 12.
Yes.
Remember 9. Look at it, 9 distinct. Look at my cursor, 9 distinct distance. So 3 months are not there.
Okay.
So no need to start
Okay.
doing. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a
So
question.
now, okay,
Okay, so
shoot.
my question is just like the other person asked the other time that does it
Mm,
mean that in Power BI date is
yes.
written in months in the format month, day, and year? Because I observed that when we were creating this MMM column from the month column, we didn't tell Power BI which one of the 4 or 1 is our date. It just picked the first one and used it as the month. Did you get it?
Because we know we had splitted it, and we said create as dates. Now,
Yes,
if
we said
one is
create as
missing,
date.
yes, create as dates. Yes, it's how do I put it now? Is Psyche. We worked on Power BI Psyche. Since the first number is missing, then it can't be day. It can't be day and year.
Okay,
You understand?
okay.
First number
So
is
since the
missing, so
first
it is
number
month
is
and year.
missing and he
Yes.
has only
So
two,
it,
I mean one
it
and
has
4
only
and 2
two
remains
entries.
19. So he
And
assumed
the
the
other
fourth
one,
month.
beautiful. Yes. And the other 4 digits is obviously year. It knows that the 4 digit is year. The first one, even if it's a single number, it can't be day. It can't be day and year. It has to be
It can
months
only
and
be
year.
month and year.
It
Okay.
can only be months and year. Yes.
Okay. So did they also know that the one that we took away from the column initially, we splitted that column initially. Did they now know
Yes,
that
we
the
know.
one that we splitted is what we want to be the day? That's why he just replaced everything with 1 1 1 1 1 1 straight down. I don't
Um,
know if you
um,
understand what I'm saying.
yeah. Yes, the first day of the month. That's the default.
All right. He
There's
just
a
used the
default first day
default
of the
day.
month. Yes, default
Okay.
day of the month. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which is actually how it was entered here. But the way it was entered that I deleted, which was the first day of the month, but the way it was entered, when dealing with data entry, you know, errors do happen. Now, this is one of the error. It's the first day of the month, but the way it was entered as though it was months, and then the day, and then the month was now entered as day. So we are only having January 4th to 12th of January. You know. Well, I'm waiting for it to load. Custom column from custom column. Yeah, custom column. Say fiscal year, fiscal underscore year. All right. So click now date dot year, open bracket, date dot add months. Okay. Open brackets. Now, which one now is our months? Which one now is our months? Yes, add months. Months, insert, comma, -3. Say okay. Right. So we have our fiscal year, and now we can save and apply, close and apply. Share window, Power BI, good. So now it has saved. Now let me please save this file. Save as. Okay. New folder. Oops. It's analysis. Save. Good. So beautiful. So we can now see Power BI has now automatically created relationship between dim districts. So our next class will start from here. So already created relationship with dim districts. Fiscal year. Okay, yeah, we'll need to create a fiscal year table. So we'll do that in the next class. We need to create a fiscal year table so we can now have a one-to-many relationship. And then we'll now need to normalize all this, remove this summation number here. Go to table view, dim dates. Let me just quickly do this one. Dim dates. Under the fiscal year, click on it. Do not summarize. This is how you remove the summation. Do not summarize. All right. So thank you very much. Thank you so much to everyone who have stayed thus far. Please go through and do it on your own. You have the data sets.